Well, you can hear us and we can hear you. Woo-hoo.
We're not
Perfect.
just you, so big screen from Michael.
All right. They say the camera adds 15 pounds. I ate 6 cameras.
How was Vegas?
Vegas was fun, thank you. I only lost like $280, so considering that's all I lost, I guess you could say I'm a real winner because I went to Vegas and didn't lose a lot more than that.
Were you ahead at any point?
What was that?
Were you ahead at any point?
Yeah, there were ups and downs, and
5,000 up.
what's that?
How high were you up at one point?
I'd say about maybe $200-300. It was. I like to play poker, so sometimes you do good, sometimes you do bad, sometimes you think you're doing good, and then the other person's doing better. So you're supposed to date the cards, not marry the cards. So sometimes people fall in love with their poker hands. And what's the expression? You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And we'll just leave it at that. So we're recording. So the residents of Avon Township can hear all about my Vegas exploits. How's everyone doing?
We're just watching you. It's just about 7 o'clock.
Doing good. That was great story time. Thank you.
I'm glad my loss is your entertainment.
Me too.
All of us. Now he's like, what should I do? I think I'll start.
It's only 6:59.
No, I'm watching his reaction.
It's 6:59. Why is your computer 10 minutes behind?
All of our computers are.
All of the computers at the township are 10 minutes behind because our domain controller is apparently 10 minutes behind because it's not syncing properly.
I got 7.
Okay, it's 7.
I got 7.
I called the February 8th regular board meeting at 7 p.m. today. Trustee LaFredo, will you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Dobrow,
Present.
Trustee Kirby,
Here.
Trustee LaFredo,
Present.
Trustee Rappa,
Here.
Supervisor Bauman.
Here.
We have a quorum. Also present, Clerk Larson, Vice Chair of the Finance Committee, Haley.
Do we have any public comments today? Can you please state your name?
Sure. My name is Linda Putner. I'm a resident over here on Highland Lake, and I had sent you a email with an inquiry of a concern about the effect that the leaf burning ordinance is going to have on some of us who don't have.
When did you
Lawn
send it to
service.
me?
Right after the Lake County Board meeting.
Okay, yes.
Okay, and so my comment is, the contract we have with Lakes Disposal, I talked to them, and the only option that they're providing in place of burning, which is what I used to do, is bagging, $3.50 a bag. And with the amount of trees that where I live, it's gonna be a real hassle. And so I guess my concern is, can we be like Gray's Lake? At least once in the fall, to push the leaves to the street and have something magically suck them up and take them away. When I posed
Waste
that
management contract.
to Lakes,
Lakes is our contract.
when I posed that to the young gal who was on the phone with at Lakes, she says, well, you should bring it to the township because that's who we have the contract with. So that's why I'm
So our contract, we still have for, I believe, 2 more years.
right.
It is what we have right now. I'm not sure we can amend it or not.
Well, that's my question. Can it be amended or even less formal than that? I mean, I know for certain that there's certain neighbors where I live there's no way they're gonna abide by that ordinance. And we have a lot of leaves, so I'm just trying to prevent problems before they happen in the fall, which I'm sure they're going to.
What, I mean, I could talk to, Lakes and see what they say, but again, it would go into a whole, contract. I'm gonna give you my, phone number. Are you gonna be staying for the whole meeting?
No, I prefer just to throw that out to you.
Okay,
I
let me
mean, it's a fall, you know, it's not an emergency issue, but
no, it's not, but I want to give you my, I don't have my card on me.
yeah, I tried to email you here and that doesn't work.
Yeah, it's, we realized that situation.
Through through a neighbor, I had the private one, so it was, I sent it to you on the private
Yeah.
email.
Yeah, what happens is we have a new, cybersecurity system with our computers, and everybody who has my old township email can no longer, access me. Let me give you my information, and then can I have your phone number too? Before you leave?
Sure. Everybody down since we're recording, we don't want to get the.
Oh, no, I wasn't thinking.
Linda, I think I have your email here from Ann Bidwell.
Right. Also, I was on that county for the.
Right. Don't remember if I have your phone number for that.
Yeah, so let's get, we'll pick it up on the, if you want, I can put it in here.
I can have to put it in here. That's good. That place for me to put that. I'm sure Linda would appreciate her number remaining her number and not the entire public's.
Thank you.
Okay. Hope you have some luck. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Linda.
Wait, here, please take mine. There you go. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Any more public comments at all? Nope. Okay, let's go on to reports. Can I have a motion to approve the reports? So moved.
I'll second.
Only discussion I want to talk about is Flacco. Now we have our textile clothing bin in the back to make sure we're promoting that. We've already filled up the bin one time in just, under what, a couple weeks. So that's awesome that the word is getting out. We are going to be having an Easter egg hunt here on April 9th. It's going to be with a bunch of social service agencies and nonprofits and civic organizations. It's going to be hopefully a big event, and we're going to be able to promote our services along with having a fun event. I'm hoping that the volunteers, we're hoping the trustees can volunteer that day. The event is from 10 to 12, but we'll need volunteers from about 9 o'clock until like 12:30 probably, just to make sure everything's cleaned up. The egg hunt is at 10:30. So it's a 5-minute egg hunt, pretty much. It's really fast, but we're gonna have other activities that hopefully will keep the community members at our event for a little bit while longer.
What day is that?
April 9th on a Saturday. And then I'm also working with the Brown Lake Park Police to put together a self-defense training event for our community. I'll have a date for that hopefully shortly. I'll have it before our next meeting. And that is another great event for us to let our community members know. My goal is to continually find new community members or different organizations that want to host an event at the township. More variety we have, then the more we'll be able to impact people throughout our community, and not just focus on, on one area. So if you have an idea of a program or somebody you think would be beneficial to our community, let me know and we could book them out. That's all I have.
What times do you need people on the Easter egg hunt day?
9 o'clock. Events at 10, but people will be coming, early just to make sure. I do have the National Honor Society, Gray's Lake North, Gray's Lake Central. I have the Round Lake High School National Honor Society. I'm hoping will respond back to me soon. We have scouts coming. So we do have a lot of volunteers, but because the property is so big, it's guarding the eggs. Before people start taking the eggs is the most crucial part.
Okay.
It's authority, so, you know, we're gonna need some people who are gonna say, don't touch the eggs.
So we need to dress up in those bear costumes from the commercial for them.
No.
And I'm hoping this will be a new tradition that we'll be able to continue on. I'm also working on a possibility of getting a grant. We have to figure out how we want to use it. It's with the Real Estate Association, Main Street. It has to be something that everybody in the community can benefit from. We can't just target one group, but if we want to have a park, then we have to have a park that is for everybody. It could be inclusive. Jeannie, some of the things that we talked about, because special need population and things like that. So as we talk about our budget, I'm going to be talking to how much money we could possibly get from the grant and think about what's the best way we could use that money, but it has to be something that benefits everybody if they want to use it.
Is that a location wise or just age group wise?
Location wise, I mean, location, age, for the most part, it's for anybody.
Okay.
They don't discriminate. So if there's a way that we can include all populations, I'm thinking something outside. That's one of the things that I would like to do, but just because then it's always available, even though people might rent it out, something that it's always out there for people to do.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Yes. And if I get more information on it, I'll let you know within the next week or so.
Okay.
That's all I have. To make we vote. We have a motion.
Oh, motion and second already. Motion by Kirby, second by Reba.
Roll call.
Trustee LaFredo.
Yes.
Trustee Dobra.
Yes.
Trustee Kirby.
Yeah.
Trustee Reba.
Yes.
Supervisor Bellman.
Yes,
Motion carries.
I know, I'm doing roll calls. Old business, let me interrupt. For old business, number one, discussion and possible action related to building improvements at Gages Hall. I met with, Jeff came out to the township, what, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, let's go with that.
And we talked about all the possibilities and how much it was going to cost from the different companies. And we narrowed it down to actually the first choice that I brought to you, because one of the second choices was about $10,000 to do about the same thing.
And we had to install that.
And we had to install it too. So the company that I talked about last month, it'd be $4,990. Tax obviously not included because we're, a government agency. We just have to pick out the fabric, and if we want to go with the fabric that goes closest to the Avon Township, it would be this one. Or we can have a darker one.
I like the dark.
You like darker one, okay. Darker one,
I would agree with the
darker one. You don't care? Okay, darker one it is. Yeah, I was going back and forth. I was thinking the darker one would show more.
It'll fade less.
It'll fading. We didn't even think about the
It'll
fading.
fade to the color we want it to.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. So what I'll do tomorrow is I'll contact the company, and I would.
Thank you.
Maybe we should touch
Don't text how, yeah.
Do you want to compare
No, I like.
I'll take the other one.
them? I have a lot of extra ones, so after the meeting, you guys could take home with you and just kind of.
Bring in a little bowl koozie from actually.
Michael's like, I'm missing this.
No, I can see the dark blue from here, and I really like the
Yeah,
dark blue.
I mean, I think that you're right. I think the dark blue will stand out a little bit more.
Although the marketing person in me kind of thinks that the blue in Rudy's hand might be more on brand with the township colors, but
But if
But-
it's-
like
Looks
dark
like-
blue. I'm not complicating it. We're all in alignment with dark blue.
yeah, I mean, I like the dark and the fact that it might fade.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, first big decision, spending township
Yeah.
for to make our township better. Okay, thank you. So do we need a motion then?
I'll make that motion. So we hire them and fund the money to have it installed. Engage us all.
Second, any more discussion on it? Roll call.
Trustee Dobra.
Yes.
Trustee Reba.
Yes.
Trustee Kirby. Trustee LaFredo,
Yes.
Supervisor Bowman,
Aye.
motion carries.
Okay, number 2, under old business, discussion and possible action related to health insurance. I'm gonna let Crystal take that one because Anne Marie and I put together a document, but Crystal's gonna make it a little bit clearer.
Okay, so all of you received an email document from me earlier today, prepared by Anne Marie, our bookkeeper. There was some confusion about what the document meant when I read it, when our chair of the finance committee read it, came up with the same conclusion I did. There was some confusion, so I'm going to walk you through that document. I believe that's included under, as one of the last pages in your report. Under the insurance. So taking a look at that, so you guys can understand where the apples to apples come from and what the rest of this document means. So the last box, the bottom of this particular spreadsheet shows the employee expense buy-up plan is how it's titled. That is the actual cost of the full insurance package as current and as proposed by benefit partners. That 8.1% is the markup that, or the increase that they were talking about during the last board meeting as part of their presentation. Those are the numbers that were presented to us as a board. When we go to the top of the document where it says Avon expense, under number 1, that's the current expense that Avon pays after payroll deductions for the employees' upcharges. So the total cost of the premiums to Avon Township in the renewal plan are $17,865. That's the total cost, including all of the incremental part that the employees pay for. The renewal rate for that, the cost to the township directly, is only $15,310. That's top box, item 1, line 2, renewal rates is $15,310 per month. So there is a $2,500 difference between what benefit partners showed us on their document and what we were quoted, as opposed to what our actual cost at the township is, because that $2,500 is offset by employee payroll deduction. So the 9.7% increase that you're seeing in that particular box at the top represents the total impact to the township's cost is 9.7%. Even though the policy increases for 8.1 overall, we bear 9.7%. That means the employees pick up a portion of that as well, but that's our actual burden. When we look at item 2, that's an incremental cost. That's not comparing an apple to an apple. That's adding an additional package for one additional employee who did not have coverage in the past year but was eligible. That is the maximum rate because all it says is add one family. So that's the maximum family rate we could expect. So that's displaying as an additional 10% increase, but that's not part of the rate increase. That's an incremental employee increase. So don't consider that as part of the rate increase. So that 19.8% is the total potential impact, but really the rate increase is still within that 10% that we talked about, the 8.1 provided by benefit partners, and then the 9.7 is the total that we're impacted by. When we look at number 3, I think there was discussion during the meeting of what if the township was to go to the most commonly selected plan, which was a no deductible plan. That would be an additional like $3,400 per month or an additional 25% incremental increase. But that's by shifting additional burden onto the township. That's not a rate increase. That would be us changing the way that we handle coverage by saying our base plan is now this no deductible plan, not this $7,500 deductible plan or whatever it was. So as you're looking at those numbers, they did look really confusing, and I wanted to walk you through all of those so we understood pretty clearly.
Because the employees can buy up to the limit.
Right.
Correct. But the township doesn't pay for that.
Yeah, the one we cover is the
Basic.
$2,500 deductible HMO.
The base HMO,
Basic.
correct.
Yeah, got it.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So when it was the renewal versus the composite, which one worked out better for the township?
So that's the item number 4 is the composite.
Okay.
The composite versus the age-based premium. We had a little bit of an incremental cost, I think, with the composite, but it was 6% less than. Yeah, than the renewal price if we went to the age-based. The issue with the age-based is that it is disproportionately impacting different employees.
Exactly.
Some are like $600, some people profit, some, we were going through all of it. It was
It was
very,
it was very wild.
in like the
difference.
younger, age, right, it was very
It was dramatic.
dramatic.
Yeah. So we are going, so it looks like we should probably be going with the renewal, not the composite, correct?
It's up to us to vote on
It is the
that.
composite and it is just the base renewal as recommended of 20%.
Okay.
Could you repeat that? What was the question, Rudy?
Are we doing the renewal or the composite?
We're going on that.
They're both renewals, but they were labeled, one was labeled renewal and was labeled composite
Renewal,
in the presentation.
one with renewal plan.
Yeah, the one is renewal. It's on page 21 of your packets. The 8.1% that was proposed is the second item that's labeled renewal,
Yes. Yes.
just so everybody's clear on exactly what line from that. Correct.
Let's just continue with the same option as we had. We need a motion.
A motion to go with the renewal and not the composite.
We have a second. Roll call.
Trustee Dobrowd,
Yes.
trustee LaFredo,
Yes.
trustee Kirby.
Yeah.
Trustee Repa,
Yes.
supervisor Bellman,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, under new business, number 3, approval of minutes presented. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented in the January 11th, 2022 regular board meeting?
A motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Kirby,
Hi,
trustee LaFredo,
Aye.
trustee Dobrowd,
Aye.
trustee Repa,
Aye.
supervisor Bellman,
Aye.
motion carries.
Number 4, can I have a motion to approve the monthly bills as presented, A, prepaid bills? I think we got them
We
separately.
can take them together.
I'll make that motion.
Prepaid bills and outstanding bills.
I'll make the motion to pay the bills and the prepay the bills that need to be prepaid.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Kirby, Oh.
that was for the type of the prepaid and outstanding, correct?
Yes.
Yes, good, yes.
trustee Dobrowd,
Yes.
trustee Repa,
Aye.
trustee LaFredo,
Aye.
supervisor Bellman,
Yes.
motion carries.
For number 5, transfer resolution for town fund. How much is it for? I guess we want to start doing, making sure we have the amounts.
We do. There was a potential variable on this one, which is why an amount is not readily available. Again, there was a question about legal services. We had not received an invoice in time, so the amount for this is, my calculator really quick, because, get it right? Transfer in the total amount of $805.
For resolution to RSO 04.
003. That is $65 from health insurance to life insurance, $660 from health insurance to contract accounting, $80 from health insurance to subscriptions, and a blank amount from health insurance to legal services. And we have no dollar amount to fill in there, so a blank amount.
I will share my over with you.
You just make sure it's the one that's kind of in the packet. Okay,
Do we have any discussion on it? Wait, we did motion yet? Any discussion? Roll call.
Who's the motion?
I thought we did a motion.
I'll
No,
motion.
A second? Okay.
Okay,
second by Kirby.
Roll call.
Trustee LaFredo,
Aye.
trustee Repa,
Aye.
trustee Kirby, trustee Dobrowd,
Yes.
Supervisor Bauman,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, number 6, a motion to transfer resolution for GA fund. That would be number.
Resolution 004 in the amount of $2,500 from health insurance to social service contracts.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I'll just have a question of why we're doing it for clarification purposes.
Got to pay the bills.
Okay. All right,
No, it's just moving our funds around. a little
not a
bit.
problem. I, you know.
Making sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked.
You
I'm
know.
glad you asked.
Unlike the previous supervisor, we pay our bills.
Maybe just take that soon.
I'm glad you like my answer.
Motion by Kirby, second by Replow.
Any more discussion? Okay, roll call.
Trustee Dobrowd,
Yes.
trustee LaFredo,
Aye.
trustee Kirby, trustee Replow,
Aye.
supervisor Bauman,
Aye.
motion carries.
Okay, number 7. Transfer resolution for assessors fund. That would be number.
005. The amount of $52 from conferences and conventions to data processing.
And I believe that they're doing that for the same reason.
They're just bad with balancing budgets over there in the assessor's
Oh,
office?
my.
They spent a little bit more on data processing and a little less on conferences. It happens.
Okay, well then that's fine. They run a lot of conferences this year.
Not this year.
Well, or maybe we should look at it as there was just more data processing.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
That sounds better. That's, yes.
Tip my hat to you over there.
So we have any more discussion?
No.
Roll
Need a
call.
motion?
Motion,
Motion.
discussion,
Second.
second. What?
We
Read
need a
it.
second.
Read it.
No, he made the motion. I'll
Okay,
second
second.
it.
Okay, any more discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Dobrowd,
Yes.
trustee Kirby.
Yes.
Trustee LaFredo,
Yes.
trustee Replow,
Yes.
supervisor Bauman.
Actually, it's just really nice that these are so, low. I mean, you know, having, well, we're transferring lots more money. That shows that we're really tight.
Does that make you feel better?
I mean, you know,
Okay.
doesn't make me feel any worse.
Just as a note on fund transfers, there will probably be one more set of these coming at the March meeting to clean up the end of February. These are typical and routine where we overspend by $10 on one account and underspend on another. It's just to balance the budgets and spending at the end of the year. They're very common to see lots of little things because you might be a little bit over on an estimate or it's not
Yeah.
significant dollars.
And on a side note, there is a chance that we might have to have a special board meeting if some bills come in. Just be prepared depending on when our bills come in.
Again, really common. to ask.
It would be like a 15-minute meeting, but it would be a meeting and make it so much easier on Anne Marie to make sure we go into the next year that clean.
Sure. Yep. Did the supervisor vote? I didn't hear her say yes or no.
Yes?
I have a record as yes.
Sorry.
Okay, number 8, discussion and possible action related to assessor's travel request.
So this is on the agenda because it was requested by the assessor for 2 trip requests, one to Normal, Illinois for CE continuing education and one to Springfield for Topics Day. As the assessor is not here and I have no other details, that's all I can present.
But I know, talking to them in the office, you know, it's important for them to go to Topic Day and to, what's the other training called?
Do their continuing education for their CIAO.
Yeah, I mean, I would approve these because education, the more educated they are, the better they're gonna be in our office. So I motion to approve their travels.
This is the one for $52 versus.
No, this is just their, okay, so I'll let Michelle got the motion. I'll wait for a second for discussion.
I'll second and I'll start the discussion with, I share Michelle's point that it's important that they stay current with their certification. And it's important that they go to our state capitol to chime in on various topics that affect not just assessments, but taxes and the township. So I'm in alignment with you, Sue.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to know what was what page this was on, or if it is on a page.
There isn't, this was just, can you put this on the agenda? And those are the two places that he said they were gonna go. That's all the information I've got.
So basically, in the past, all the expenses have been approved by the board. I think now it's separate, that assessor has its budget.
Mhm.
It's just letting us know about.
Actually, that's something that's in the next item on the agenda, which is policies. Our current travel policy requires the assessor to come to the board to make requests for travel before that travel is undertaken, unless it's an emergency. The revised township policy for travel, which all of you received, I'll let you review that, but that would give the assessor discretion to use his travel budget that he's done without having to come to the board and beg every time, as long as it didn't exceed the amount that he had in his budget.
And then the purpose for it.
But this
There
is,
was,
this,
there was a reason for that policy, and it wasn't just because of the assessor. Everybody had to go to the board and request travel.
And you had it requested almost in a month in advance, and sometimes you didn't even know what your schedule was, because I know I was gonna go to Springfield and I didn't put it in on time, and it was a whole big deal. So a little bit more flexibility. The goal is to get you guys trained. If there's a training going on for you, or the assessor's office, or the highway, the more trained we are, the better. And sometimes we don't realize there's training until someone says something to you. And read your magazines, a lot of training dates in there.
And most of them are all virtual now, so
Yeah.
we have a lot more options.
If you just go to TOI, Township of Illinois, they have a whole section on education. So I take a lot of their classes, even if it has nothing to do with the supervisor, but you want to know more about the highway department or more about the assessor's office and how we do things. You could just take a webinar. You don't even have to be there during that one time. You could do it later on.
Oh, yes.
And so if you do take classes, then let us know, give us the receipt, because it's $25 a class normally, the webinars.
Which, I mean, that used to not be that way. You used to have to go, and then there was travel expenses and hotel expenses. And so that was a way for the board at the time when they changed the policy to get a heads up could be able to control those expenses. Because for some it was, 4 people were going down and they all had separate rooms, and some of the board members had problems with it. I can't be careful. 2 men share a room, 2 women share a room, whatever. But that's not, we're not in the same place. Virtual is so much easier. So much easier.
So are we done with number 7?
yep, we have a motion in a second.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Kirby. Trustee LaFreda.
Aye.
Trustee Repa.
Aye.
Trustee Dobro.
Aye.
Supervisor Bowman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So number 8, discussion and possible action related to assessors travel.
Oh, just did that one.
There was the one, sorry. Discussion and possible action related to township policies. That will be.
Okay, so back in July of last year, we started compiling all these policies. This is continuing work going back to the prior administration and taking all the work that council had done under the prior administration, compiling that with everything that we've been able to get together, revising, reviewing, and modernizing standards. In the board books, you have a summary of that, but you've also received all 49 pages of revisions and suggested policies. And tonight, you've also received a draft copy of what would be mission, vision, diversity, inclusion, and equity statements, except for Trustee Dobra, who's not here. These are all draft things. I'm not looking for any action on these tonight, but I am opening the floor for discussion on any of these tonight, because you've had them for a couple of weeks. I am asking for action on one particular policy, which is in your board book. It's a policy that was passed in 2020 related to the recording of meetings by public officials. I would actually ask you to take a look at that and look at the correspondence that I put together related to that. The actual resolution that was put together has some technical deficiencies. It lists us being in Ogle County. It refers to the supervisor as the mayor. Those are technical deficiencies that could render it invalid. It also references an Exhibit A, which we cannot find a copy of what that actual policy presented as Exhibit A is. So a third technical deficiency. More importantly than that, there are two governing rules that we have to follow. The first one is the Open Meetings Act. And our current policies and ordinances say that any member of the public may record without any notice whatsoever unless they need special accommodations, such as power or clear line of sight or something else where they do have to reach us to say, can I have the power outlet? Can you ensure clear line of sight as long as it doesn't interrupt the meeting? The second one is the Local Records Act, which governs a public official acting in their official capacity. We actually have something in what's called our app, which is the list of records that we have to maintain under the Local Records Act as provided for us by the state archivist. That particular item in the app talks specifically about the rules that govern when we can destroy those public recordings. And that's set at 60 days. So the need for this resolution is completely outside the scope of even existing, and I'm asking the board to rescind that tonight.
So we can bring in a motion to rescind it?
I mean, Crystal and I talked about this, since this was under the last regime. And yeah, there were tons of things. This happened all the time, quite frankly. The things had pieces in it that didn't matter, didn't have anything to do with this. And actually, the reason why this we have a double vote is because he changed his vote, as I know. So, but it's there's
So Crystal, what do you?
So I am asking for a motion to rescind resolution 2020-77.
I'll make a motion to rescind 2020-77.
Yeah, I'll second that. This seems like something that needs to be.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Kirby,
yes.
trustee Dobra,
Yes.
trustee LaFredo.
Aye.
Trustee Repa,
Aye.
supervisor Bauman,
Aye.
motion carries. Thank you.
Next, we are going to go into executive session tonight for a couple of items. So can I have a motion to go into executive session?
I'm going to move on to executive session now, 7:35.
I'll second.
Goodbye, Travis.
I need to, for the record, state the specific reason for executive session in order to go in legally.
Yeah, it has to be for
Discussion on legal items,
Potential litigation.
potential, probable, or actual litigation against the township. Perfect.
Tax objection.
that's a litigation.
Trustee
Okay.
Kirby, friendly amendment.
That's right, that's exactly.
Yeah. okay.
Trustee Dobra, do you accept the friendly amendment for litigation?
Yes, I do. I just want to remind everyone that we have virtual participants that will need to for purposes of executive session too.
Yes.
But I also want to talk about general township litigation. So I'm not sure that'll be under.
I don't think we,
We don't have to do it.
I don't think we have to. do
Okay.
Just this is all we need to do.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Roll call.
Trustee LaFredo,
Aye.
trustee Repa,
Aye.
trustee Dobra,
Yes.
trustee Kirby,
Yes.
trustee Bowman, or supervisor Bowman.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are in executive session at 7:37 PM.